Welcome to another episode of the Starter Girls Podcast with your host, Jennifer Loading.
And Brianna Drillis. And together we are the Starter Girls.
Where extraordinary decisions produce extraordinary results. These are our friends, these are your friends, and they are living extraordinary. Oh. Yep, today's episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Photographer of Glad Bottles Agency. If you are here in the Dallas or surrounding area and looking for some photography work, check out Walt Mills. You can learn more about him and his work at photosbywalt.com.
And you can also head over to startergirls.com to connect with us more over there and check out past episodes. And don't forget to follow us on wherever your streaming device is, right? Whatever your streaming platform is for your favorite podcast, The Starter Girls.
All right. Today's a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up. Be amazing. Be you. Do you. We do have to say before we get our guest on here, because our audience is going to be chiming in and they're going to be saying, where are y'all at?
What is going
on? New studio. So they got to bear with us as we work out our kinks here, right? And get our, what do we say? Get our ducks in a row? Our squirrels in a row? I don't know. I don't have ducks. I have squirrels.
Get our new digs. Get our new digs on.
Right. That's right. So we want to welcome our guest today. We're super excited. Audrey Young. Her bio is so awesome, and she's an incredible woman. She's an ambitious entrepreneur and your everyday mom. She's the Chief Operating Officer of Ditale Outdoors, a women's technical outdoor apparel company. Audrey's also the Chief Operating Officer for a nonprofit that brings a refined and tangible version of the lean startup method to the entrepreneurs of Main Street America. She's an experienced multiple-time startup founder and mentor to startup founding teams. Additionally, she and her husband have 3 young ones under the age of 4. One of them is 4, and then we got some twins in there that were 3. So welcome to the show, Audrey. We are super excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for that intro. That's fantastic.
That's your superpower.
We like the intros. That's why I'm always like, give me your bio. We need your bio. Don't make me go find that. Get it to me. So we're excited to have you here today, and welcome to our new setup.
It's great. This is really good.
Yeah.
You pulled this off.
I know.
This is awesome.
We have a great camera person back
yes,
there.
Yes, we do.
I know.
We appreciate Chloe.
We've got Chloe. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's got our back.
Yeah. So he did all the setup. We just show up. We just say, hey, get us there, and we just get there.
Just give us an address.
Yeah. Give us an address. Tell us where to show, right? So, all right. Well, we want to jump on into this really quick. So I want to start off, Audrey. Tell us a little bit, because you've got kind of a lot of things going on here. So tell us a little bit about maybe this company that you're with, and then if you want to jump into this nonprofit. I know those are, I don't know if those are kind of synced together or separate things, but fill us in on that.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just go ahead and jump in and get started. And really, I feel so fortunate because it all comes down to the people that you meet, and it all is connected. I started off, I really got into the entrepreneur world about 3.5 years ago or so, and dove in and started my own company and moved forward, got funded, all that fun stuff. And then, things happen, things change, you pivot, you whatnot, COVID hits, you kind of keep moving. But I got to be involved in a boot camp really early on that just changed kind of everything. It gave me a process. It gave me kind of a curriculum that I could kind of follow, some sort of guidelines, really more like guidelines to kind of test ideas and different things. And then about 1.5 years ago, I ended up getting involved, and I started doing some mentorship for this fantastic woman that is in the outdoor apparel industry. And we kind of just hit it off, and we have a fantastic team. She was amazing at the time. Now we've grown. And that's how I got involved with my outdoor apparel company that we got our samples in this week again. So that's super exciting. And then, so I do that. That's my business that I'm the COO for. And then I also am part of a nonprofit. But so to kind of dive into the business part, it's all about women supporting other women in the outdoor industry. So that's kind of that's what drives it. It's actually, we started with women's hunting apparel. My co-founder is a renowned bow hunter, and she kind of just started doing customer discovery, and I tagged in, and my first question was, how many women hunt? Because I'm all about hiking, I'm all about getting out there. I love supporting other women, but I had no idea how many women hunt until I started doing customer discovery, started doing a bunch of market research. And did you know that there's over 1.1 million women out there? It's just incredible.
Yeah, I believe it.
And they're incredible women. They're fantastic people to talk to.
1.1 million who are hunting?
Hunting. And this was in 2016, and the numbers, that's the last true number that is in the books. But since 2016, it's been growing, and we all know it's been growing, but we're waiting for the next set of numbers to come out.
Oh.
So, so I kind of jumped on board and started doing customer discovery, and it's been such a journey. We added a designer about over a year ago, and she came into the mix, and she's been helping us, and she works magic. I don't even know how she does what she does, but so that kind of has been playing along. And then we recently added in our new marketing guru, we call her. She's just right on top of it when it comes to sales and marketing. So now we have a little bit more of a team. We have our board. It's all coming together, and we're getting ready for a limited launch.
That's so awesome. Well, when you were talking about hunting, and Chris and I were talking about this just the other day, one of our guests that was on here, and this was before Brianna, you came on, Shemaine Nugent.
Oh, yeah,
Ken Nugent's wife. She is an avid hunter. I've been following her. We were just talking about her the other day, but she was on the show, and it's so funny because I follow her in Instagram and on Facebook, and she's always got these bow hunting videos and gun videos and stuff that she does. And they're absolute avid hunters. So it made me think of that.
Very
so
nice.
when you said that, yes, I think there is definitely a market out there for that particular niche. So how awesome is that?
Yeah, it's really neat. It's really, really neat. And they, they just don't talk about it very much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stigma, but women do it with so much purpose, so much intent. They're so just careful, and there's so much connection there.
Sure.
And, healthy eating, and they donate the rest of their meat, and they just do it with so much purpose and intent. It's really moving. They they use it as a life skill development for their kids. How to live with compassion, and it's just the stories they tell are just very moving. So it's pretty neat. It's neat to be involved with, and I'm just excited. I got our pants, and I just my jaw dropped when I put them on. I was just like, oh my gosh,
these are so awesome.
Okay, so let me just clarify. Ditale Outdoor is apparel.
It's apparel.
It's apparel for women who hunt.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
It's apparel for women who hunt.
There's not guns for women.
No.
Okay.
We're starting just with apparel.
Okay.
And we're starting only with hunting.
Okay.
It has potential in several other tertiary markets, but our initial niche.
So not
our
hiking.
beachhead,
Right.
Well, not hiking, sort of. I mean, it's definitely there for hiking.
Okay, cool.
We see a lot of crossover with wildlife biologists too.
Right.
Okay.
So we have a lot of wildlife biologists that are excited about it.
That's so exciting. And it's headquartered in here, Texas. Allen, Texas.
It's a great place to be headquartered.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Yes.
Our primary market's kind of the Midwest, down to Texas, a little bit over to Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. My husband grew up in Montana. They're avid hunters, so I completely understand. Even though I do not personally like to hunt, I have no desire to do it. He likes to hunt. And so I understand it and respect it. So one of our other guests that was on here, Maria Emmerich, she's a keto coach, and she's awesome. Her books are they're endorsed by Halle Berry. They're endorsed by her, and so she was one of the people that I worked with when I was going through keto. But she's also an avid hunter, and of course she's gotten a lot of flack from people because of it. But when people understand it and they respect it. Yeah, they get it. They get it, and
there's a lot of education around it that I think could be improved upon. But we're really here to just support the women out there, because I mean, really, truly, these women are wearing their boyfriend's pants. Right. I'm not kidding. 90% of the women that I talk to are like, well, I'm wearing my boyfriend's this or my husband's that, or oh my goodness, that's not good.
And so we've had it happen before.
That's co-founder. So it's neat to be able to actually provide a product that works for them. And even in the technology, even if you go to one of the really high-end brands and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to spend this money on this, it's still, the problem about it with it is that the functionability of it. So it's missing pockets, and pockets where pockets are needed.
Yeah, they're not the right places.
And I'm like, but I'm a female, I'm not going to use that pocket. And so just, it's pretty neat to be able to provide for these women out there that really have a need, that really, they truly don't have anything to wear.
Sure.
Then it's, and so that's pretty neat. And then really one of the reasons for me that I'm involved, right, is because I love the team. It's, what it comes down to with a lot of startups is if you don't get the team right, it's one of those make it or break it. You have unmet need. Do you have an unmet need? And then you have team. And it's if you don't get the team right, it can't work a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just, I love my role. We all complement each other. We get along. We all have different personalities. It's an amazing experience to be part of.
It's so interesting that you just touched upon that, because I sent this to Brianna. I just had gotten invited to be in this entrepreneur group, and it's one of those things where what you're saying, it's a lot of what that is, and it's a lot of what my background has been in, coming from the network marketing space, about finding the right people to put in your space and up leveling. But it's interesting because you said two things that they're talking about in this whole idea where entrepreneurs mess up a lot of times in business, and it's solving that problem that your people need. It's finding what is it that your people actually need, because we look at it and go, hey, this sounds pretty cool, but do our people really need this, right? So finding that need. But then the second team is surrounding you, or the second point I was trying to make, said team, see, team's on the mind. Second point is surrounding yourself with the right people to work with, because you will rise to the occasion depending on the people that you're around.
Hands down. Yep.
And so that's so important. And that's what this group is really all about, is putting the right high frequency vibing people in the space that there's no complaining, there's no griping. People are there to support, uplift, encourage, and want to level up.
Yeah.
So I think you touched upon some really good things there, tips there for entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to build your whole ecosystem, your whole environment. And it's so important. I mean, especially as women, we get so, emotionally, like, it's an emotional roller coaster for anybody. Yet us women are like, woo, ups and downs go. Yes. And you need to have that support system. And that's what's really, really neat about, you need to have that support system with each other, but then you also need to have that support system at home and with everybody around you. It's one of those things that's like, hire somebody smarter than you, always do that, because the reality is you got to be able to work together. You got to be able to, and so that's, we kind of set those models in place. We have our some of our cultural things are, we always have food. It's very important. We eat. That's what we do. We make sure there's food and there's snacks, everything. We make sure our family's important, and family truly comes first. So it's like, you know what? I got a baseball game. We're all moms. I got a baseball game to go to. I'm going to this. Okay, we'll wrap this up later tonight. And so having that flexibility, having that support, knowing that she is going to follow through and take care of that. Or, I dropped the ball on this. Can you help me out? And it's going to get done is just imperative. And so it's just, it's really, really good to have that support network.
I love it. You also said something else really good in the very beginning when you were talking about connections, about the whole idea of meeting the right people, because I don't think that happens by accident. I think that that's really about you putting yourself out there and navigating, and I always say kind of filtering through the muck, weeding out, and not that you're getting rid of people, but you're finding the people that you can work with, that you can collaborate with, synergize with.
Yeah. It's really important. I mean, I was actually put together. So my previous company, it's called Crux, and I started a stroller company. The only reason it didn't go through is because of COVID and everything got shut down. Right. But it's still out there. Patents are moving forward, but anyways, in the meantime, that's when I was doing a bunch of mentorship, all this stuff, working with this organization, and just kind of doing that, giving back and doing peer mentorship, working with other startups, helping them. And that's when this happened, and apparently it wasn't as organic as I thought it was, but it was one of those, but I put myself out there to all kinds of people, and they actually said, you know what, you should call her because she knows about this, and then, that's how it works. And so, a lot of people say, how did you get into this? Like, where did this start? And I'm like, you just gotta go. You just have to, you gotta get out there, you gotta talk to people, and you have to put yourself out there and say, I need help with this, and be willing to ask for that.
Right.
And that's how it starts, and those are the people that make it, is, you can go out there and you can be a solo entrepreneur, but it's, like they say, if you want to move fast, be a solo entrepreneur because you can move fast, but if you want to be in it for the long run, you need team. You need that support network. And so
made me think of something, Jennifer, that you always talk about, how if you want to get things moving, you need to just open your mouth and go talk to someone. Like it always starts with talking to one person, and that leads to the next.
Yeah. When I do that when I feel stuck, like when I always feel like there's always an option. There's always a way. Like there's always a way. But there are those rare moments, and I think we all have experienced that, where we have a moment where we just feel stuck. We're like, And usually when that happens, I need to get out the door. I need to go network. I need to start talking to people, because even if I don't get an idea there, it will inspire something. I will go home and think about something somebody has said, or somebody I need to talk to, or, and then think, it kind of gets the ball rolling. So.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that is fundamental in understanding. That's one of the very first things that we do is it all starts with get out there, talk to people, and do customer discovery. You think you have a problem. You think, I have this problem, and I can't tell you how many CEOs I've talked to, like, I created this product, and I'm like, and did you talk to the customer? Is that what they want?
Right.
I mean, that's where it's like our pants, like, and I played devil's advocate with my CEO all the time, to the point at first she didn't like it. Now she's like totally on board with it. We've worked through this, but I'm the one going, well, how many customer discovery interviews did that come up in? Do they really need that zipper in that right spot right there? Did they just talk about a zipper? Or did they talk about it right here? And like, so I'm the one always like, how many interviews said that? Is it 20%? Is it 30%? Is it 50%? Did all of them say it? Did none of them say it? So it's all about that validation, but that's also the super inspiring part, that even, when people say, oh, go validate your product or go validate what you're doing, they go out there and they validate it. But the thing that is almost more powerful to me personally is that's what's the inspiring part for me to keep going. Because I've done all the customer discoveries. It's like, I know these women really need this. And if I don't push through this Trofasaro or whatever it is, they're not going to get it. And it's always the inspiring part that you feel like you're serving a need. And so
I love it.
Yeah. So you're totally right. You just got to get out there. You just got to go talk.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this other
The
part
mentor,
of you. Yeah, tell us a little bit about this deal that you got going on.
So this is something I've kind of been involved in the organization since the beginning. But a while back, they were looking to expand some of their efforts and get more involved. And we kind of got roped a little bit more into K through 12, which is kind of an interesting thing. This organization is really about taking the lean startup method. We have a whole proprietary curriculum that has 10 years of research done on it. And it's all about taking kind of that Silicon Valley method and bringing it into reality for normal, average entrepreneurs, which Main Street entrepreneurs, the real entrepreneurs not all of us are going to be tech unicorns. Right. The real entrepreneurs are the ones that start automotive shops and anesthesiologists that open, they decide they open a surgery center, or, the people out there that maybe get their culinary degree, culinary certification, but they want to open a restaurant. Like, they're turning it into more of a business, right? And then you have people that have brand new ideas and they got the best new whatever app idea, right? And so really what our program is about is taking some of those methodologies that Silicon Valley uses, but really putting them in a little bit more tangible curriculum for everyday Main Street entrepreneurs. Okay. And it's all about validation. It starts with customer discovery and getting out there. Just go start. And then it walks them through, okay, so now it's a process, because there's a lot of mentors out there that are willing to help and whatnot, but they really don't have any guidance. So when you go to mentor somebody else and you don't have any guidance to say like where you're at or what you're doing, right. It can be like, well, I'm starting, most of the people, what do people say when you're going to go start a business? They're like, well, I'm going to start with my logo. How did you design that? Off my favorite colors. Yeah. Okay. Is that what your customer wants? Right. Is that like, who's your customer? Did you develop a persona? No. Okay. Well, you got to like take this back. Is this a hobby or is this a business or what are you doing with it? So it's a lot of like, we're here to help them validate their idea or their side hustle or their small business, and then take them through that process to say, okay, I actually validated my idea without really any funding necessary. I validated it. Now I move through, I'm building my team, I'm finding solutions, I'm proving my assumptions, I'm moving through, I'm figuring out my market research, my unit economics, all those steps, to where I can then go, all right, I have a true viable business, scalable business. Because that's the other thing, there's always opportunities for scale, but you have to be open-minded, you have to think, you have to get out and talk to people, come up with new ideas, have those shower thoughts, so that you can kind of move forward. And then we have a whole process that talks about execution too.
I love this. Is this, okay, so are you guys actually mentoring them through this? Is there is this like a program they're actually going through that they get to do when they do this?
Yeah, so we have curriculum, or we have like 2-day boot camps
Okay.
where you can basically like start at the beginning of the boot camp, and we've done a bunch of them with community members all over. And they start at the boot camp. They can start Saturday morning, and by Sunday afternoon, they have an entire business plan done and a business idea validated or not, and an execution strategy. So they can move forward, or they can say, "Ooh, I gotta pivot. I don't have something."
And you
here."
said these were K through 12?
So that's our community. And then the reason I kind of got brought in was because my previous experiences in urban planning and government and education and all that and economic development. So they kind of brought me in to say, okay, what we had a principal that came to one of our boot camps. She had an idea. So she came to one of our boot camps and she just fell in love with it. And they said, well, she's like, I want my students at my school to know this. And we're like, but they're 4th graders.
Right.
And so we said, well, it's applicable. We can iterate the curriculum. Like, we can put the curriculum in their context. And so we started doing that.
Wow.
And our program ended up growing from 9 students, and this year we have over 60 students in the program. It's 100% parent driven. We have 100% parent attendance and engagement. And it's just taken off. And it's because these kids, like, it's not just entrepreneurship skills.
Yeah.
It's mindset development. It's like Carol Dweck out of Stanford. She has all of her mindset. So we integrate that into every single little piece of the curriculum, because it's all about, you got to be able to persevere. You got to be able to have an open mind. You got to be able to think outside the box, take initiative. Like, all those things are key parts. You got to be collaborative. You got to understand, strengths, weaknesses, and leveraging those. And
Sure.
we're just, like, these 4th graders are just eating it up. They absolutely love it. So we have 4th grade, we have 5th grade, we actually have middle school kids now involved. And so that's kind of why they brought me in, was because they said, we need somebody that has a little bit more of, like, how to interact with the boards and how does this work at that level. So I said, okay, I can do that. And so they hired me as their COO, and here I am. And it's neat because I went through the program, so I believe in it. Like,
Well, and I think that's kind of incredible too, because there's a lot of, I feel like entrepreneur skills, there's a lot of life lessons in there. And when kids can see, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to grow up and be entrepreneurs. Now they may look at that and go, wow. I mean, I feel like some kids just sort of kind of have that mindset. They're just like creators, and they're just kind of opportunists, and they know, like I had a guy on our show one time. I was talking about Ben Jones, and he was talking about how he used to sell candy bars in school. He'd go buy like the packs of candy bars and then sell them to his friends. There's always those people that are kind of like that. They're little children hustlers, They know how to be entrepreneurs. But I think there's a lot of life skills in that can transcend into whatever they do. So when you were talking about like the mindset and stuff, I think that stuff is so important. Mm-hmm. So
it's everything.
Yeah, I'm
for entrepreneurship.
Intrigued by this whole program.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat. I mean, like you said, we're actually piloting it in the B-Tech program at Molino High School in Dallas right now. So with high school students, and sure enough, there's a kid that we found out, he's like, well, I have a whole little business, and we're like, what do you mean you have a business? He's like, well, I resell shoes. Like I buy shoes, I fix them up, and I resell shoes, and I've created a business out of it, which is like, it's just incredible to see this. And then like Frisco ISD, they have their independent study mentorship program, so forth. So like, there's a lot of good stuff out there, but what they're all lacking is like, I need something with guidance, like something to be like, here's step 1, start here, and then keep progressing forward. And that's exactly what we have, that just fits really well into creating something so that they can go, okay, oops, this isn't working. Oh, my assumption was proven wrong. They don't need the pocket here. They need it over here. I keep getting comments about this.
Yeah.
Go back to the unmet need. Why do they need it there? So it's just, it's logical and it's tangible for anybody. I mean, like 80% of our boot campers are minority women. It's just
interesting.
It's neat. It's neat to be able to help, and it's 0 to 1. So it's just that. Where do I go? What do I do?
Yeah, well, and I can speak from personal experience. As an entrepreneur, you dive in a lot of times and you don't know what you're doing, and so that I see that as being just a great resource for people that are trying to get into entrepreneurship and don't even know where to go. Because you're right, you're like, let me pull up a site that does logos. I'm going to get in there and pull that up. I like it. It looks great. You're doing all that branding and all the things you go through to be, and you. I mean, if you stick around long enough, you learn a lot of things, but you could shorten the time that it takes to learn all of that stuff if you can have the right resources and the right mentors.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good
really
stuff.
awesome.
Good
Yeah.
stuff, Audrey. Okay, so I want to flip this really quick because you're a mom. And I always like to ask these questions, because we're all moms here. And so we all kind of have weathered through the little, I feel like I started being an entrepreneur when my daughter was 2. She's now 25 and married. So I had weathered through baby diapers and kids in the car screaming while I'm on the phone and the knocks on the door, like locking them out of the room. Like barricading the doors. Do not come in. So tell us, any tips you want to offer for moms out there that are trying to do all things amazing?
Yes.
All things amazing. Oh my goodness. All that resonated way too just...
Because you're in it right now. You're
I
like
am in the thick of it.
Yes, you're in it.
Take advantage of those Mother Day Out programs. Oh my goodness, they're like saving grace. No, I think the reality is like, and people ask me that all the time. How do you do this? And I'm like, well, for starters, I do this this is me. This is my time. As a mom, I can only be the best mom if I'm still moving forward. And so, I think what it takes is, mute button is amazing. No. I know that sounds silly, but really it's a matter of if you got to balance your time, you got to balance, you got to set those parameters. When I'm at my desk, I'm at my desk. And I've tried to teach my kids, even when they're 3 and 4, it's not always the easiest. We don't have meetings during witching hour of, that 5:30 hour. But, I think the other thing is being part of a team that's supportive of that is important. And I know when you're talking with clients, like yesterday I'm in the car picking kids up at the 2:00 pickup, talking with this client, trying to navigate all this. I don't know why the one's crying in the back seat when he gets in the car. I can't figure that out. But it's a matter of just being upfront and honest, and you just have to just kind of go with it. And if it is what it is, and when it's meant to be is meant to be, and if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, and you just keep moving forward. You just set those time frames. And then the other thing is it's just balance. I'm the type where I don't work very well late at night. I'm the early morning girl. I'll get up. I don't mind. That's my time. But at night, 8 o'clock, I don't do meetings.
Yeah.
No,
You're in a safe space because I think we're all.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, just work at night. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
No. I'll get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not working at night.
No.
And so, and I think but the important part about that is to also take your other time. Take your other time to go for that walk around the block. You have to balance that. It can't always 100% be I'm working or kids, one or the other. You still need to be you, and that's really, really important for you to be able to maintain your patience and be able to kind of manage kids and just be there and 100% present all the time. And that's been my saving grace. And I can't say that it's perfect. It's definitely not perfect.
No, but I don't think it ever is, Audrey.
No, but I feel better because I know that you survived. So there's hope at the end of this.
You do survive. You do. But listen, I think what's really good, this is such a good topic because I do think when you're in the thick of that, you feel like it never is going to end. And I think wherever you are, where your kids are, because as we were talking earlier, mine are older and we go through a different set of, what do you want to call them? Frustrations for mom.
Challenges.
Right, you go through more of them. I think they're just different. They're all relative to where you are. But I think something that you said that's striking me is the part that, and I think this is so hard for moms because it is something that I wrestled with very early on, is being okay with the mess. Being okay with where you are and embrace the moment and do the best you can do in the moment. Because we get so hung up, even thinking about parenting, the kid's got to be out of the diaper at a certain age. Kid's got to be off the bottle. We get into all that, right? By the time you get to the 3rd child, you're the diaper will come off when the diaper comes off, right? I used to tease my son, I called him bonus buns, joke, because he wore a diaper all the time. He would just go to the bathroom. I'd be like, when he's ready to take it off, we'll take the diaper off. I'm not going to mess with him. He's playing. I got stuff to do. So I think it's that confidence of being okay with where you are and saying, I'm a better human being when I take care of me and I take the time to do what I need to do. I'm going to show up as a better mom, but I'm okay if it's not perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, my laundry pile's still there.
Yeah.
It's been there all month. I just add to it and then I drag out of it and then I add to it and I drag out of it. But you just have to that's where I know. That's where I compromise. One day I'll do it, but
we all share that.
I know.
But you know what?
Oh my
I'm
God.
the dishes are done because that's important to me.
Yes.
But the laundry pile, laundry pile, it can just be there, and I think that's a huge key component is you have to be okay with everything not being done.
That's right.
And
or delegate, right?
Sure.
Well, let me know how that
Well,
works.
yeah,
with
well,
3-year-olds.
hey.
No, I'm talking outside
Super
sources.
hustle.
It is not the kids.
No, no, no,
True,
no.
true.
I do want to interject and
Yes.
just say those kids can learn how to do some
Yes.
really important stuff around the house at a very young age if you give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe not 3 years old and 4 years old. There are some things maybe they can do, but you'll be surprised at, like, I had my kiddos doing dishes and their laundry like years ago.
Yeah, mine do their laundry now because if it doesn't get done, I'm like, you know where the wash machine is?
Yeah.
But we've talked about this before because we do laundry Jenga in our house. Like we have an island. It's actually clean right now. It's like a miracle when our island in our kitchen is clean because that's the laundry Jenga. Because it's like the laundry comes out. It just seems like they talk about the ADHD thing where people do laundry and like they'll put it in the wash machine. I put mine in the dryer and I'll run it like 5 times.
Yep.
Because I'll run it and then I'll be like, it didn't get dry, now it stinks. Let me refresh it. We got to put refresher spray and run it. Oh, now if I put it up, so take the ones out of the washer and throw it in the dryer. This is a whole nother conversation.
Oh my
Then
gosh.
we dry it again. Then it goes to the island and it sits there, and that's when laundry Jenga starts.
Yep.
Until finally I'm like, are we going to move the laundry? We're just going to leave it here for the next 6 months. So, anyways, but a lot of good points there, and I think, yes, you just have to learn to let some of that go.
I think that's the absolute most
And letting
important
go of the
point.
guilt too, because I think
Yeah.
a lot of moms have guilt for wanting other things besides
Yeah.
just being at home with the kids or whatever. Like,
Right.
I think there's a lot of guilt that if we're talking about moms who want to be entrepreneurs, I think sometimes that's the thing. It's either, well, I need to go have the 9 to 5 so I have the stability of the 401k or the health insurance or whatever.
Right.
Or I feel guilty because I want to start my own company because that will take me away from the family and, you know, all the things. So I think most importantly, we are all 3 examples that you can do it. You can be an amazing mom and a business owner and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Like you can have all that. You just have to figure out how it works for you because it works differently for everybody.
Well, and the cool thing here is that all of our kids are at different stages, so that's what makes this even really,
Yeah,
I think,
I agree.
more special because she's kind of entering, you know,
The middle.
I'm the more adult, and you've got the little ones. And so, for any entrepreneur listening to this, you got 3 people that have kids at completely different ages that are going through this whole process of being a mom and being entrepreneurs. So
Yeah.
lots
And I
of
know
good stuff.
you kind of talked about that a little bit. Like, you know, there's this like, oh, you can't do it. Like, there's kind of this like, oh, how are you gonna balance all that? And it's interesting because you're like, no, it's possible. Like that myth has been, it's
Yeah. But it's mindset. It's
Yeah.
that self-belief. It's like, if you're in your head going, it's not possible. Like, how am I going to have time for that? I can barely do the laundry.
Right.
So how am I going to have time to start a business? Well, if it's a priority for you, you're
You'll
going to get up
get
at
it
4 in
done.
the morning
Yep.
or 5 at whatever time, or you're going to stay up late, like depending on when your genius hours are.
Yep.
You know, you're going to, because it matters
Yep.
and it's important to you. So you'll make it happen.
Yep.
But you gotta be hungry for it. Otherwise, it ain't gonna happen.
You gotta be passionate. You really do. I mean, starting a business is not easy.
And maintaining it and running it.
And running it, and you know, not very many businesses actually succeed for any long period of time, and so you gotta really want to do it. And you know, I mean, like even my last venture, you know, I started it. It was going fantastic. We got funding. We were doing all of our proto development. And then it's like, well, COVID. And I was like, well, how will that's not going to affect us. Well, it does when your entire factory gets shut down. You're just like, there's no product. You can't, you know, and so it's, you know, you just got to keep moving forward and you got to want it enough to keep moving forward. And, you know, and I think that's something really neat. And you need to surround yourself with people that are going to support you in that. And kind of continue to understand that you need this as, you know, you need this for you to keep moving forward too and support you in that. And surround yourself with other women that are supportive, going through the same things.
Absolutely. Good
Yeah.
stuff, Audrey. This is
Yeah.
good. I'm excited about what you're doing. I definitely want to get a little more information on this whole, all the stuff
Yeah.
you have going on. So it's awesome
I
stuff.
agree.
So I think we should let's do some rapid fire.
Okay.
Later. I think it'll be fun.
Oh, boy.
These are fun.
Okay.
I got the first one.
Go for it.
Okay. You talked about how you always have to have food and snacks available at your reach. What are your favorite foods and snacks?
Good question.
Oh boy. Well, we just like this last weekend, we were in Salt Lake, and we have tiers. So we always have like the healthy tier, then we have like the media tier, and then we have like the something came up, it didn't go right tier. And so we have like, you kind of have like the nuts, and like we're gonna, we're on a good note, and we're doing really good, and we got the energy going. And so we have that, and then we have like the we've been out here for a long time, but we'll make it to the next meal. And then we have the, oh no, it's just, we're out. Like now we're down to like candy and chocolate
And
like,
Pringles.
oh no, Pringles, chips. But it's fun. And so that's I don't know, that's kind of our like, it's always been our thing. Like we're always like, where's breakfast? Like not if we're eating breakfast, it's where's breakfast. And lunch, that we're not skipping that but that's kind of something we all recognize with each other. And it's like, it's kind of funny because we've been like that from day one. We didn't really like set that up. It was just like food. When's food? When are we doing food? And we're food, coffee. Okay, now we can have a conversation. And we're so productive, and we're all just really balanced and complementary.
That's so great.
That way.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, a couple more. We're going to do these quick because we're going to run out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so favorite book?
Oh, goodness. I have so many favorites.
Just give us one good one.
Sheryl Sandberg, Lean In.
Oh, that's good.
Favorite musician or artist?
Oh, I should have known this one coming from you. This kind of sounds funny, but I really like Taylor Swift.
Nice.
I like her drive. I like kind of who she is on the back end, and like how she pushes that forward, and just how she approaches the world so professionally. I think that that's important. And
She's definitely a musicpreneur.
yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, last fun one. Amazon cart. What do you got in there?
Oh, I always have books. So because Amazon cart. Well, let's see. Last week I had Halloween costumes because I went to like 3 different things. I'm like, I'm never gonna wear this stuff. But it was fun. I got pink hair. It was super fun.
Fun. I bought a Halloween costume through Amazon too.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we live there. And then let's see. Anything for my kids. It's just constant. I like, thank goodness for Amazon, because I forget like, her dance tights, whatever, this or that. And,
Gloves, Amazon.
So Amazon, and then just tons of books, because I have the rest of my founders and everything. I have like books for days, and I do actually read a lot on just mindset and business, and then on my own personal fun books, and so that's kind of where I keep my list.
Okay,
like, that's how I know, okay, these are the ones in the queue. And then I do not order them until I'm ready to read it.
Awesome.
Because if it sits there, then I'm like, oh, I got a whole bunch stacking up.
So if we need a book list, we know who we need to check with Audrey.
Absolutely.
Because she's got the books. I love it. Okay, Audrey, so if our listeners wanted to get in touch with you and find out a little bit about the hunting gear company or the 5013C, whatever, I forget what it's called. Either way, where do they need to find you?
So One IE is going to be under www.oneie.org. And it's an entrepreneurship organization. We do 0 to 1 entrepreneurship. Or you can reach me at Audrey@oneie.org. And then for Ditale Outdoors, that is www.ditaleoutdoors.com. And again, Audrey@ditaleoutdoors.com. Or we also have some pretty significant Facebook groups. Ditale Outdoors Women Who Hunt. We have a few thousand followers in there. And so that's also a great place to connect with other women that are out there hunting and kind of be able to have those conversations that you can't have elsewhere. It's kind of the thought process behind that, and it has a whole life of its own.
I bet.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We'll make sure too when this goes out that we get all the links and the tags and there, so
And
it gets
show
in the right
notes.
places. So
Definitely.
that way they can, we'll make sure they can find you one way or the other through them. You've got plenty of sites there, so we'll make sure something is connected to you.
Definitely.
So we can find Audrey, right? This has been fun. Thank you
It
so much for
is.
coming out here and checking out our new place
I
and
know.
being like our first person here today
Yes.
for the new studio.
Yes.
Super excited, Audrey. You're doing great things. I love what you're doing.
I love what you guys are doing. It's just, you guys, it's all about the women that you surround yourself with.
Let's go, baby.
We have
Yeah.
fun. We have fun.
Yeah.
All right,
So glad
we-
you were here.
We do want to say to our listeners, of course, if you enjoy our podcast, please be sure to give us a rating both on iTunes and Facebook, because we can't do this without you, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
And make sure you head over to startergirls.com as well. And let's keep in touch there by giving us your email address, and we can send you a free gift.
All right, a couple final thoughts for the day. I think this is going to be great for yours. All right, stay away from those people who try to disparage your ambitions. Small minds will always do that, but great minds will give you a feeling that you can become great too. It's by Mark Twain.
Yes.
I like it.
All right, final thought, we wrap up. In order to have success, you must start, and every start begins with a decision. You guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We will see you next time.